But what's the point in me calling here?
Right.
No. It would have just led to the next question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you can make it happen.
Must like you.
No, maybe they don't, maybe.
Maybe that's it. Is there any
Moving down-
surprises
moving
on
down
here?
home Saturday.
Which ones? Tell me right quick. I don't have to go through them.
Different.
Yeah. Be a lot, be a stressful day.
Be a good day.
Yeah, you ready for the amend the agenda section of the night?
I'd like to know, you probably know
Shallower.
about this.
We got four things, Dad.
There's a
Yeah.
number, she says that was
Tread depth
I
of
shouldn't jump.
17 inches.
Yeah.
instead of
You
12.
recorded.
Because he wants to do this
Yeah.
before he steps down and get his security.
at the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
When do you guys come and get your generators?
Is utilities.
Tracy said summer.
I don't know.
It'll have to be a company or something does it, right? Or you got
Omni's doing it.
Omni's done
Well, they're just gonna unhook everything and then me and Craig will come and get the
But it's in.
generator loaded on the trailer to take it out there and then put concrete, put gravel in. Because it's gonna go back like it was never there. Because I said something to Ty Tilly today about it.
Indiana Trust.
And
What are you guys gonna do with this?
Exactly, right now.
Staple Tipton.
put it on the.
All right, it's
Gov
5:30.
Deals auction.
We'll wait for the recorder. I'm going to call the Tipton Common Council meeting to order. Begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item on the agenda are the minutes from the last meeting.
I move to approve May 11th minutes as written.
There's a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the May 11th meeting. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Any amendments to the agenda? Hearing none, moving on to the committee reports. This being the second meeting of the month, we'll start with the Board of Works and Safety.
We met today, approved 2 street closures, one for the Tipton Trails. It's their, I think, second or third 5K. It's really not a street closure, but more of a coordination. On May 30th, they'll be crossing a State Road 19, so just coordinating that with the police. That was approved. And then the Tipton Main Street kickoff this summer, June 20th. We approved that street closure from 10 to 6 p.m. Then we heard from the fire and police department. So on the fire side, a lot of building repair going on, cleaning out the gutters, cleaning out storage. Had 71 boxes of old city court documents we were able to get rid of, take to the county. So for the most part, everything's going fine. Chief's working on the 2027 budget. One thing, Cart 10 is out of order, out of service. It's 13 years old. Chief didn't seem too keen on maybe replacing it, so we may just not replace that. Fully staffed for now. They may have an opening soon, but fully staffed. The 3 new hires are doing well. So, or sorry, 2 new hires. On the police side, obviously the new chief has only been there for about 2 weeks, finishing out the year as the SRO. We're down to 10. We've settled at 10. We had 2 resignations. I don't think they were unforeseen. Kind of knew maybe that would happen, but so 10 out of 14. And then Debbie obviously is retiring, so we have an opening there. Just starting the process of rebuilding. Budget-wise, everything right now seems okay. Gonna have to look at, honestly, the council's gonna have to look at vacation and PTO hours again. It was bad last year. It's really bad this year, and it's of nobody's fault on the force. They're being asked to work and not take vacation just because they're so short-staffed. So we're gonna have to look at that. New vehicles are coming in. And then the one thing the council's also gonna have to really consider is the tasers they're shot. They're super old. They don't even make them anymore. They don't service them anymore. Batteries aren't lasting. So we have officers pretty much with no taser. So they have no other form of de-escalation besides if they carry spray or physical restraint. So we really need to think about that. Chief Maddox, I think, had some numbers, but he's going to work on that. I think probably around 10 to 15K need tasers. That's what I remember. So that's coming. Whether we wait till next year, I don't know if we should or could. It's just gonna have to be addressed soon. And that was it for the board works.
Very good. Moving to solid waste, held their monthly meeting. Big item that we discussed was the continued transition from solid waste out of the yard waste business, so to speak. So the city has been working to mitigate the existing pile out there at solid waste. What we've discovered is a lot more individuals, organizations utilizing that free service. And so we continue to work toward mitigating the existing yard debris out at solid waste. There was an ask from solid waste to contribute to that mitigation. Dylan's been leading with the municipal services on an effort to fence off that area so that there's actually a better policing mechanism to make sure that it's only the cities or agreed upon parties who are utilizing that space. That was largely the conversation topic at that board meeting. Otherwise, things are going well. Angela Shelton is doing a great job leading that effort. Next one up, Planning Commission.
The meeting was canceled. We didn't have anything on the board.
Very good. Utility Board.
Short meeting, everything's going good.
Very good. Youth Council, the Mayor's Youth Council did celebrate its graduation last month. So now at the end of school, they'll be in recess and we'll reevaluate both the program, its next steps. Again, as a consequence of SEA1, all these programs are getting more challenged. So we're looking at more creative ways on how to continue to engage students at the school. There's been a lot of good outcomes project-wise from the Mayor's Youth Council, and looking forward to continuing that in the next school year. Moving on in our agenda, no items under new or old business. Mayor's report, a few project updates. The public safety building is moving toward completion, substantial completion of that project. There's a couple other punch list items that we're working to make sure gets completed. We did hear at Board of Works, there was flooring's not really something that's exciting to talk about, but there was actually a lot of excitement and passion behind both chiefs. They felt like this helped professionalize the building with the flooring that just matched. Something as simple as matching flooring. So that was exciting to hear from them. That was one of those last punch items from that project. We're working toward closing that out. Once that is closed out and the project is officially done, the plan is to host an open house for the community to see the work that has been done, gain some appreciation for the investment that was made on that property. One partnership that the city's committed to here actually next week is with the school corporation. They're making some playground upgrades. They reached out and asked if the city would help in some of their demolition so that they can make some needed investments in their playground space. So just want to commend Dylan Dietrich and his team. They're going to be doing that work next week as a partnership with the school corporation. It helps the school corporation save some dollars. Demolition from some of these recreation groups is pretty salty. So it's our way of contributing to their project and a great way just giving back to the community and help celebrate their success. Another one as far as cooperation, partnership, I've been working with a group of volunteers on the America 250 celebration this year. Of course, the city of Tipton has our annual fireworks on July 4th. There was some cooperation with Jack Wagons Car Club. They have their car show on 4th of July too. So really use those two pieces as centerpieces for this celebration and built off of that. We should be hearing some outcomes of that group's and others' work towards celebrating America's 250th anniversary. But also one, and I don't have her permission to say this, but I'm going to anyway. But Commissioner Klein did reach out and ask the city what we are doing as far as celebrating America's 250th anniversary. And then she volunteered to be part of this committee to help coordinate. So just wanted to thank her for that partnership and commitment to the celebration this year. Two other project updates, East Street, that's the paving and stormwater project. I'll just mention, just because I had the conversation with Dylan today about the water we've received here lately has been pretty intense at times, a heavy rainfall that has particularly challenged this area of town on East Street, Jackson, and Independence. Those have actually fared very well with this rainfall. Those are areas that would have been very obvious that would have struggled. So with that new project, it's added some storage under the roadway that's working toward a final closeout with the utilities. The utility had some stormwater and some water work as well as sanitary water and stormwater in that area. And then the little gym, that building here on the corner of Madison and Main Street is nearing completion. It's not quite there yet, as you can tell. So the primed siding will soon get painted. We're working with the contractor to close out the final pieces of that and then moving on to paint here shortly. That's it for my report. There are no items under resolutions and ordinances. That moves us into claims.
I move we approve for payment claims 182,359 through 182,479 in the amount of $971,903.55.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for claims this evening. Any questions?
Yes, I do. I'm just kind of curious. I know this how to edit mine. Are we still doing the facade grants or are we not doing them? Because I noticed on this claims it has facade on that again.
Which page is that?
Page 6, number 1822 or 426.
Yes, so that is the closeout from a facade grant that was issued back in 2024. So that was actually submitted to the council. We've encumbered this for final payout back in December of this year. So you guys approved that encumbrance being paid out of encumbrance.
So this is in order.
Correct. Yeah. Related to a decision from the facade subcommittee in 2024. So that should finalize all those, any outstanding previous awards for the facade grant. Any other questions? There's been a motion and a second to approve claims this evening. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No abstention. That brings us to petitions, comments, and memorials.
I did have a quick question about the solid waste. Just so city residents are aware, now that they can't dump their yard waste at the recycling center, the process for that will be putting it in a bin if we have any available.
Yeah, so this Municipal Services is testing some yard waste bins.
Right.
This is part of our effort to improve the efficiency and safety of the collection of yard waste. Based on city ordinance, you are required to put it into a bin if you don't have an alley. So we're kind of in motion of making this a little bit easier
We did
on everybody
Test
involved.
run with up to
50.
50.
50
Have all
totes.
those been spoken for?
No, we still have about 15.
Okay, so if there's still capacity, if someone's interested in the
Yep,
bin.
yep.
Okay.
And the plan is if the testing goes well, both on our, the city side of things, the collection and the homeowners, that this could become a program that we pursue some grant dollars for to really make citywide to help improve just the cleanliness of it. The problem we are really trying to address is that the grass clippings, the leaves, and debris get into the stormwater collection area. So it causes some issues in the system that we're hoping to address. Plus, from a safety perspective, from the employees, I know it's a topic fondly talked about, but my out of the office video series, I worked with the street department that afternoon, just seeing that this is tough work on them as people. And so if we improve that efficiency, safety of collection, that's important for us as employers and for the city residents as well.
So going forward, though, if I cut down a tree in my yard and I want to put things that wouldn't fit in a bin, if we go that route, so I just still put it, and I don't have an alley, or do I still just put it out in the street or an alley?
And I also say that because it comes up occasionally when storms occur, I think our expectation is that we're going to treat storms differently, knowing that there's going to be a lot more debris caused because of the storm. So those will be treated as extenuating circumstances, and will expand likely the cleanup as a result of a storm.
Yeah, I just want to make it clear that the city's still taking care of yard waste.
Yep.
I mean, it's part of your $22 a month bill with
Yep.
recycling and trash, and the city is still providing that service.
Correct.
But if, I'm asking this question, but if a business cuts down a tree in someone's yard, we're picking up that?
No, I think we're working on the language and to help inform the community on that. But I think the expectation, encouragement is that there's two locations. There's one in Kokomo, and I don't know if that's a Green Cycle location. And there's also the one in Noblesville. that's where that encouragement is going to be, is utilize those facilities who are made to take on that kind of debris. And then this location in the city becomes the city's deposit space, so we can mitigate. The cost of all this for countywide is getting to be too much.
Yeah.
Good question.
Andy Humphrey, 306 Rosie. First of all, how big are those bins?
They're
Are they as large as our trash?
Yep.
a little bit smaller than that.
Well, I may not know.
Okay.
Because if they were gonna be the same size as those, I didn't want the
No,
stakes
they-
sticking in my garage.
They're smaller than our trash and recycle bin.
You answered about the fireworks. I want to say, I will need chemicals in the pond this year.
Okay.
So I just want to throw it out there.
Yep.
And then secondly, I was in 2 weeks ago to the mayor's office concerned about 3 properties, and I'm going to reinstate it again. Is there an ordinance for anyone to put their, I don't know the proper terminology, trailer where they haul stuff in? Is it to be parked on the street, or is it to be parked in their property, driveway, wherever?
I believe if it's, and I had to verify, but if it's parked on the road, it has to be connected to a vehicle towing it.
Okay, well, Tim, you have one that needs
Yep.
to be moved. Your garbage back there is disgusting
There is no
again.
garbage back there.
Okay, skids, racks. So if you moved all that stuff, you could probably park your trailer there where your property is at. The property on Dearborn and Green, there's even been a couch added onto it now. Honestly, it's a fire hazard. If the fire department had to go in there, they'd have to knock stuff out of their way to get into the door.
Okay.
And then, FMC.
Yep.
School bus, 2 cars between buildings. So I'm telling you, if that fence goes up, it's gonna be a city garbage.
Mhm. I know letters were sent out whenever you came by last week, so we're in the process of letters have been sent, waiting for response, but we're going to continue to keep an eye out. We've had dialogue with FMC. They've come in and actually pulled some permits, so there's active conversation with them. The property owner on Green and Dearborn, I don't know that we've had conversation with them yet, but we'll.
Drive by there. It's-
Oh no, I know what property you're talking about.
Dearborn and Green is already on the planning commission's code enforcement. We've taken photos today. There's a letter being issued, sent out tomorrow. That's being addressed
Well,
immediately.
good, because the lady who lives, oh, I shouldn't say this, acquaintance of mine, did not want to come to your office because she was afraid of retaliation, because sometimes when you do voice your concerns about property, somehow the individual that you're complaining about finds out about it, and then words or actions are taken, so, I don't have a problem.
Encourage your friend that we take that very seriously. We run our office professionally, and the anonymity that goes along with it. So we'll make sure there's no retaliatory.
Okay.
I would say, Andy, if any, well, I would start by saying Tim and Paige have been extremely busy, and it's like, how do you eat an elephant? I mean, they've sent more demo orders in a month than I think we did in a year. So it's a lot. You just drive around here. It's almost overwhelming. And anybody who wants to report, and if they want to go through a council person, I would encourage them. I've had like a couple people in my neighborhood email me, and then I would file it for them or tell Tim or Paige on their behalf.
My neighbor, they had a ton of junk cars, and it eventually started growing coming towards my house. And they set a junk car in front of my house, and I said, I will not tolerate it. So I called the police department, found out the ordinance. It was 3 days. They could sit there 3 days.
Yeah.
And that third day, I was on the phone calling. Well, whoever asked them to go move it told them who complained, and then that only started the dialogue of her calling me everything but white, which
Hmm.
I don't care.
Yeah, but some people, I get that, especially if you're neighbors. So, yeah, I'd encourage anybody, if they want to stay super anonymous, contact their council person,
Okay.
and they can help.
Thanks.
Thanks, Nate.
There, Joe.
You like-
Joe can have some complaints now.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, Bob Edinger Tipton. This isn't particularly council business, but that's okay. Something that was brought to my attention that I think is worth mentioning, and this would be for you, Joe, that I followed some of the Division II national championships, and
Let's not do this.
your granddaughter, Joe, as you already know, came in tied for 12th in the nation, which would be out of teams that have pole vaulting. I think it's upwards of probably 300. So you're talking a lot of people, and that is tied for 12th in the nation.
Cool.
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. But what's more important, she has a degree and she has a job.
Pole vaulting?
No. She understands there's no 30-year-old pole vaulter. But thank you, I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. I think that's great for our community. And I'm not sure exactly which school she goes to.
University of Indianapolis.
Very good.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
She's a good positive note.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Rick, did you second?
What'd she get her degree in, Joe?
She's an RN, or she will be next week. Pardon me? She'll be an RN.